Welcome everyone. We are starting with a new session, which is on prompt engineering essentials. And in this particular session, we will be discussing many things, especially around ChatGPT and the prompt engineering, and what are the best practices that we should follow to get best out of our chatbots, which are LLM-based chatbots like ChatGPT, Bard, in this particular session, before I start, I will quickly introduce myself and I will also talk about the agenda that we are going to cover. My name is Bhavuk Chawla and I have over 18 years of experience in IT and working in cloud, ML, AI, big data science related projects for last 8 years or more than that now. I am an official instructor for many companies, including Google, Confluent, Cloudera, and delivered a lot of sessions for companies like Google Singapore, specifically that office, and then Microsoft Bangalore, hosted many meetups there, Reactor community, and then Starbucks Coffee. So there are many companies for which we have delivered the session. Personally, I have delivered the session. Uh, I was recognized by Cloudera as the Instructor of the Year 2016. That was an APAC level award. There were 3 people who got this recognition globally, and I was also recognized by Pluralsight as Elite Instructor 2020, 2021, and 22, and recently 23 as well. So this is a quick background about myself, and there is a QR code that you can scan, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. So we are into training, enterprise training, and we deliver these sessions for various enterprises. Along with that, we also have an academy where we can deliver classes for individuals who are interested to learn these technologies. So we are into various domains, including generative AI, drone, AR, VR, multi-cloud, automation testing, digital twins, blockchain, streaming analytics using Flink, Kafka, Spark, multiple technologies. We have transformed more than 150K participants across globe, and we cover a lot of technologies. We have delivered classes for so many companies, including Neo4j, Infosys, Apple, and there are many other interesting logos here. We have a community. There are 2 communities. One community is based out of Chandigarh, and since it is all virtual, so anyone can connect. Even people who are remote can join these communities. These are hosted on meetup.com, and there are 2 communities. One is North India community, and another one is South India community. North India community is having more than 4,000 members now, and South India community is having more than 6,600 members. So overall, more than 10,000 members globally that are there in our communities. Recently, we were recognized by Confluent as Education Partner of the Year 2022. So we deliver a lot of classes for Kafka, Confluent Kafka, and we have a lot of videos on Kafka on our YouTube channel, DataCouch. So in case you are interested to learn about Kafka, then you can watch those videos. And we are the very first training delivery partner for Starburst. And similarly, there are many other partners who have given us opportunity to deliver trainings on their behalf. We will talk about prompt engineering. We will start with that now. So now we are getting started with the session. So before we start, I will quickly talk about the agenda that we want to cover. So we just looked at the overall profile of our company, and I also shared my LinkedIn profile on which you can connect with me. And then we will start with some capabilities of generative AI, powerful demos. And after that, we will understand the basics of prompt, what is a prompt, and then we will look into prompt engineering, what are the benefits of doing prompt engineering, what are the limitations, key elements of a good prompt, examples of bad prompt versus good prompt. So these are the things that we want to cover. So high level agenda for this particular session. Now, before I start, I will quickly go to ChatGPT, and I'm sure you must have been using ChatGPT. I need to give you some background about ChatGPT, like when it started, how it started, so that you are interested and you know like what is going on. Like ChatGPT is one of the most economical machine learning or LLM based models these days, and you can make use of ChatGPT free of cost if you are having 3.5 turbo version of LLM that you are using. In case you want to go for GPT-4, then you need to pay for the subscription. So I will quickly talk about how the evolution happened for ChatGPT. So 2015, company OpenAI was formed. So if I go to OpenAI, and this company OpenAI was formed in 2015, and the founders were Elon Musk, Greg, and then we were then Sam, Peter. There were many founders who came up with this company OpenAI, and there were a lot of different AI models being developed apart from GPT that we hear, right? A generative pre-trained transformer. So we can talk about GPTs in a separate session, because this session will be focused on prompt engineering essentials, but it is important to talk about the background of the company. So this company was formed in 2015. 2017, Google released a white paper, which is attention is all you need. That is a white paper, and the transformer architecture, the underlying architecture, is based on that white paper. 2018, GPT was released, which is basically for language understanding, and it is basically based on the transformer architecture, which was released in 2017. So 2015 company was formed, 2017 Google released a white paper, 2018 GPT GPT language model was built on the same transformer white paper, which was released in 2017. 2019 GPT-2 was released. Yeah. So, and then 2020 GPT-3 was released. GPT-4 was released recently. So you can see like the sequence of events which are happening, and this is evolving so fast. The new machine like LLM based models are coming up, and they are basically transforming the way we perform our tasks through machine learning. We will talk more about it in the subsequent sessions. But right now, this is a holistic perspective, like how we started, like 2015 things started. And when we are talking about GPT 4, and I will be making use of GPT-4 in ChatGPT, then you will be able to relate how it works. So now, when we look at ChatGPT, you can sign up, and you can register for ChatGPT, and you will get an interface like this. So once you are logged in ChatGPT, so you will have an option to have a chat. So this is a place where you can chat with ChatGPT. So before we go into the prompts and we go into the chat option like prompt engineering, so first I will talk about the options that we are having here. So if we go to settings, I have already cleared all the chats that I was having on my system. So you can also do the same thing, like in case you don't want this to be shared. So since I'm presenting publicly, so I cleared all the chat before this. And then we have other interesting features which I have enabled. I have enabled plugins, and I will give you a demo of plugins, like how does it work. And these plugins are very helpful. Example is, let's say I want to search on a PDF file, and we will have a PDF file on which we will perform a search. Yeah. So these plugins will help us in performing such kind of searches. Along with that, we can also, let's say, interested in getting the ticket fare, air ticket price. So we can get that through plugins, maybe Expedia plugin we can use. So we have so many plugins available. So I'll give you a demo of those plugins. And we can even perform advanced analysis on ChatGPT, and I will also be uploading Excel file through which we will be performing some analysis. And apart from that, then we have how do we want to manage our data? Do we want to export data? Do we want to share the data? Do we want to keep the history, chat history? Or do you want the chat history to be used by OpenAI or not for training the machine learning models? Yeah, so these options can be specified here. And then we have this builder profile. So this builder profile will show the same name as you have in your billing details. So it will just show the same thing there. So I'm not going there right now because it's just the PII data, which I don't want to show right now. But in your case, you will see the name which is there on your credit card will be visible here. So if I go here, these are settings. Now, there are some custom instructions that we will see, and then my GPT. So first of all, I will start with plugins. If you see, like I have plugins here, like plugins are enabled. What I did, I went to settings and I enabled plugins. And we just saw beta features are there, plugins, and I have enabled it. In case it is not there, then you need to enable it. And after enabling the plugins, I can see the plugins here. So what I have done, I have just added one plugin here, but there is a plugin store. You can see which all plugins are available. There is a plugin, Ask Your PDF. Yeah. And there are other plugins also that you can search. Maybe some plugin related to travel domain. Yeah. So there is a plugin for Expedia. So you can plan your trips. You can get the latest pricing of the tickets, because ChatGPT is trained on a data set till a specific time period. So let's say I want to find out who is PM of, or who is president of USA in 2023 or now, right? So I'm just asking this question: who is president of USA now? So, so it is clearly stating that ChatGPT was trained on this data, which was in January 2022. So till that point in time, Joe Biden was a serving president of United States. So I'm asking now, so it is not able to give me the latest, greatest information. But when you make use of plugins, then you can basically access the information, which is real-time information as well. So that's why plugins are important. And I'll show you some demos of plugins as well. So now, ChatGPT is from OpenAI. Now, OpenAI and Microsoft, they have done partnership. And in case you don't want to go for plugins, because plugins are basically beta feature, they are not something which are very matured as such. They are still evolving and they are in beta phase. And you want latest, greatest information from internet. So then what we can do is we can go to Bing. Yeah. So if you go to Bing, let me pull out the Bing search, and Microsoft and OpenAI, they have done the partnership. So I want to ask, who is the president of USA now? I'm asking this. So it is something which is real-time information that I want to get. Then it is searching for that information, and it is sharing the information, latest, greatest information from internet. So Microsoft and OpenAI, both companies have partnership, and because of which it is able to give me the latest information without any plugin dependency, right? So this is this is the case when you want latest information and you want to make use of OpenAI. So coming back to this, we have plugins. There are some other interesting things which are there in plugins. So I have installed a plugin, and I can install even more plugins here. But what I want to show you right now is installing plugin is very straightforward. You can just say install this plugin, and then you will be able to get the capability of the plugin. So what I want to do is I have installed Access PDF and Docs, and we can ask questions from PDFs. We can summarize information. We can chat with PDF. So that is an interesting thing. So what I want to do is I want to, this is my PDF, and this is my, I'll copy the link, and I'm assuming this link is something which is accessible. So anyone with the link can access it. So I just changed the setting, and I am just copying this link, share, and I'll copy this link, and I'll go to ChatGPT, and I'll say, let's say I will ask a question. First of all, I'll open a PDF. This is a PDF. So this is a PDF that I'm having. This is a user manual that I got from internet, and I uploaded in my Google Drive. So this plugin expects me to provide a Google Drive link. And that's why I uploaded this PDF in Google Drive. Now in the Google Drive, you will see there is, maybe there are some technical specifications given. There is there are requirements for minimum PC PC specifications. So what I want to ask is, let's say the product name is, this is a user manual, and user manual is GPS logbook. So I want to ask, what are the minimum PC specifications of GPS logbook? I don't know what is this product, but I just got the PDF from internet and I am asking. And let's say it might be trained on this book, the data. So it is saying that it is trying to maybe create and generate a response, and we will see whether the response matches with our PDF or not. So it is going to internet and trying to find out, not right now, it is not going to internet right now, but it has the data, it is already trained, and from its knowledge base is trying to find out like what will the right answer. So it is trying to convey that what are the minimum specification for PC specification of a GPS logbook. So now when it is doing it, then it is saying RAM at least 2 GB and for more recommended. So it is trying to answer this question. But if we go to the PDF and if we see what is the answer, correct answer, there is nothing related to RAM as such. Yeah. So it is saying Mac OS X. So the answer is not correct because we were expecting the answer should be based on that PDF. Now what we can do is we will edit the response. Please refer to this link, right? So I am just changing my question now. Now, can you see it is trying to use this plugin because I have given the Google Drive link, and this Google Drive link is publicly accessible, and it is referring to this base, and it is able to figure out the exact answer that I was expecting from that manual. And it did not say anything about RAM. Earlier, it was just creating an answer based on the knowledge base that it had acquired from it in January 2022. But now the answer is correct and it is coming from the PDF file that we are having here. So these plugins are very helpful in ensuring that your queries are being fired on the source of data that you are having, and you can provide these Google Drive link, which is publicly accessible, and then it will just search the PDF and it will give you the answer. So this is one demo. I hope this makes sense and you got an idea that plugins are very useful, and there are so many plugins which are already available. Now, I will talk about other interesting features of ChatGPT. So if you go to ChatGPT and custom instructions, problem with ChatGPT is sometimes we are not expecting, a lot of times we are not expecting ChatGPT to give very detailed answers. So we want to limit. So we can define, we want to limit our response to only one line. Yeah. So I want to save it. And let's say I have a new chat and I am saying who was, or maybe I'm just asking who was PM of Australia in 2021. So I'm asking, so this is one line answer because I changed my setting here in the custom instruction, and I clearly mentioned that I need only one line response. So this has simplified my life, and I can even define like I want casual response, I want formal response, I want maybe within 300 words, I want that response. So all these things can be specified. So please do make use of this option. This is going to help you a lot and it will simplify your life. This is another tip that I wanted to share. Another one is, how would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better response? Let's say I am an AI expert who has knowledge of various frameworks related to AI frameworks, or maybe various Python-based frameworks. Let's say I'm just giving this so that when I get a response, so then I will start a new chat and I'll say, please define TensorFlow framework in simple and I am not even defining my background and anything else. Like I'm not. So basically, I just mentioned. So I just mentioned my background. So now ChatGPT knows that I am coming from AI background and it is trying to define TensorFlow relating with my background. I can also say that, let's say I want to change it, custom instruction, and I will say I am just passed out of school or passed out of high school. I'm just defining my background and I'm saving it. And I will copy this and I'll go to a new chat and I'll say, please define TensorFlow framework. So now it is giving me answer, which is not related to being an AI expert because I removed that. So it is explaining me as if like I am just high school passed out. I can even say that I am just 5 year old. So based on that, the responses will change. Because last response that we were looking at, it is clearly saying that I am an AI expert. Like that means the user who is asking Bhavuk Chawla is an AI expert. And that's why the answer was according to that. Now, when I am saying, so then it is not saying you are an AI expert, it is trying to give an answer which is much more understandable for even those people who are coming out of high school. I hope this is making sense. So these are the settings that you should basically try and use it, because then it will help you getting the right answer. And you can say, explain like I am just 5 year old. Explain like I'm 5 year old. And now if I ask the same question, let's see what it says. Trying to building blocks of computers and trying to cats in the picture. So can you see the answer is so simple now, so that even 5 year old can relate with this doc, even helping doctors finding illness. So I'm just changing this in my custom instructions. In like one go, I am able to get something which is very useful. Yeah. So that's another that's another tip that I wanted to share with you. Okay. Now in ChatGPT, we have my GPTs also, and here you can discover a lot of GPTs. So you can create your own GPT. When you are creating your own GPT, that is for a specific purpose. Or let me create a new GPT. So I'm creating my own chatbot, and I am creating it for a specific purpose. So let's say I'm right now I have not given any instructions. I am just saying how many sales managers report, how many people report. Let's say I have data in an Excel sheet, but I have not given that Excel sheet. I'm just giving a question, but without any context, without any data. So I'm just saying how many people report to each sales manager. This is a so much vague question. So it is not able to answer, or it is completely clueless. Or even I can just go back to my ChatGPT console. Let me go to the basic ChatGPT console, and then I'll come back here. So I'm going to new chat, this chat only, which I was using, or maybe I can create a new chat. And here I'm saying how many people report to each sales manager. Now it will give me a random answer because the question was also random. I did not give any context. So it is saying I need more information. I am not able to understand what you are asking me. Yeah. But when we have data related to our organization, right? So I'll show you a data like Excel sheet. In that Excel sheet, I have some data related to some sales manager. So what I will do, let's go to my GPT. I can even upload that here, but let's do it through my GPT. So I'm going to my GPT, and I can create a GPT here, and I want to create a GPT uh, which is a custom chatbot, right? So let me write, let's say I'm just copying it, make a make an analyst who helps me analyze my data. So I'm just asking GPT to have such uh, role, and we want this GPT to behave like an analyst. Like generative AI has evolved a lot. One thing is we are definitely getting productivity gains. Apart from that, we are now asking AI to be in that particular role, right? So this is much more powerful than the earlier versions of artificial intelligence. So we are asking that this should be our new chatbot who will be basically behaving as an analyst. So like earlier we were learning languages like Python, Java, and so many other languages we were learning, and we were trying to get the work done from machines. Now machines have learned our language. They understand English. They understand so many other spoken languages. So now it is so convenient to talk to machines, and they understand our meaning, the context, the core idea behind the ask that we are having. So they are able to answer questions which are much more relevant. So the beauty here is we are now able to get the work done through English. So you can say English is the most difficult programming language these days. Yeah. So when we are here in the session, what we are learning? We are learning how to perform kind of Google search, because in Google search also you are writing your natural language, or your maybe Hindi, English, or maybe Telugu, or any language you are comfortable with. So Google search supports all these natural languages. Same thing in this session, when we are joining, then we are understanding the capabilities of ChatGPT, and then we will also see how we can perform searches in an effective way. How do we write that search query so that we get the best results from ChatGPT Bard? So that is the goal of this meetup. So now coming back to this, so we are creating analyst GPT, and it is suggesting the name. So I'll say, okay, I like this name. So I'll say yes. So name is good, Data Sage. Now, would you like to confirm this name? Yes, I have. And then it is generating a profile picture for me, and it will suggest a profile picture. Then I'll say, okay, the profile picture is fine. So it will create another chatbot for me. And then we can use this chatbot for specialized purposes also, not just for like random queries. And here it is generating a picture. And then, okay, lovely picture. So I'll say, yes, it looks great. Apart from that, it may ask a couple of more questions, and then we will be analyzing the data using Excel. Okay. How detailed should be the analysis? Simple overviews, technical details. I just need summary of my results. So I'm just requesting ChatGPT to behave in this way. Now I don't need in-depth analysis. I just need summary. Okay, behavior updated. So I'm just sending this. So I don't need any industry specific thing. Okay, so I just need summary of my results. Okay, so whatever questions it is asking, so I'll not be answering so many questions. I will quickly update. So how these configurations are being applied, you can go to configure, and you will see the name Data Sage. The profile picture has been updated, and description and instruction that has been given. Yeah, so this is all updated. Yeah. Healthcare data analytics domain, and ChatGPT itself can act as a data analyst. What will be the condition of aspiring data analyst? Okay, switch their career. Okay, so Diksha, thank you for asking this question. We can definitely build in the healthcare domain. It's just that we need to give additional instruction here, because in this case, it is just asking in which industry we are interested in. since this is a generic demo, so I just kept it here to show you data related to, because I am having data related to Excel, which we will analyze. Now, the question is ChatGPT itself acting as a data analyst, what will be the condition? So let me show you the power and then we will come back to this question. So that is a very good question, Diksha. Thank you for asking. So what I am doing right now is I will just upload data for sales manager. So there is a spreadsheet that I have uploaded. And I want to ask the same question that I asked. Yeah. So what was that question? If I'm not wrong, the question was how many sales, how many people report to each sales manager? And this Excel sheet is having that data. I'll open the Excel sheet so that you are clear what was that. And let me see if I can show me preview of the data. So let it analyze. And then I will also show you the preview of the data. Okay, so it is able to do that analysis. And it is able to tell us how many people report to each sales manager. Okay, now Dave, Kerry, Tom, Tony. So it is able to. So what was that? What was there in the Excel sheet? So first we'll see that. So it is able to tell how many people report to each sales manager. And what was there in the data in the Excel sheet? It is showing me the preview. So this was the data. In the Dave, there are 4 people. So that's why 4. It is showing the summary. And Tony, similarly, I can even ask like show me data in the sheet. In the sheet, right? So I'll just save it, and then it will show all the data in that sheet. Okay. Now it is showing me the data, and you will see like there are 4 people who are reporting to Dave. There are 3 people who are reporting to Carrie, and there are 3 people reporting to Tony. And then similarly, there are 2 people who are reporting to. So this is the data in the Excel sheet that I just provided to this ChatGPT. Okay. Now, this ChatGPT is able to do this analysis. If we go to our next demo, so I hope you are able to relate that we can build our own code stylist. So this code stylist will style our code. If I give some Python code, it will just do the formatting of the code. And there are so many other capabilities that we can achieve through this GPTs. Now, coming to the agenda. But before I go to agenda, I also want to show something. Let's say I am having a new chat and I am using GPT-4. So in GPT-4, we have multi-modal, right? So we can give images and it can even do that analysis of the images. So what I will do, I'll give an image. This image, this is the image. And I want to find out what will happen if the string is cut. So I'm asking this ChatGPT because now I can give images also to ChatGPT, GPT-4 specifically. I switched to that mode. Then it is able to give me logical answer that if string is cut, then bunch of balloons will go like, or maybe gravity will come, or gravity will not be there, external pressure. So it will upward, there will be upward force. So it is talking about that, like what are the things that can happen if string is cut. So this is something which is very interesting. Like we can do analysis of pictures now. Earlier, I was showing you analysis of PDF, analysis of Excel. Now this is analysis of pictures. I have another one. I want to find out what I can cook with these ingredients. Let's say you are in kitchen and you don't know what can be cooked with these ingredients. You can just click a picture and then it will suggest what can be prepared with these ingredients. So with milk, eggs, and flour, you can make pancakes. You can see the magic, the things which are happening. Waffles, so many things it can we can cook, we can prepare. These are the ingredients of various recipes. Apart from that, this is like another level, another interesting thing. Once it is like I'll stop and I'll just go ahead with the next demo. Let's say we have another picture and we want to find out, can I park my vehicle on Wednesday? Let's say today is Wednesday, and today is Wednesday. It is actually Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, and Wednesday. Let's say 4 p.m. Can I park my vehicle? So let's say there is a signboard, and there are so many rules which are written on the signboard, and I want to ask ChatGPT, can I park my vehicle? So when I ask this, then what will happen? So it is doing analysis, and I can even say, give me answer in one line. I don't want this. So I'll just edit my prompt, and I'll just say, can I, sorry, copy. I'll just say, give me answer in one line. Yes, you can park. Reason being, on Wednesday, we can just quickly see. Tuesday, there is a rule. Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. a.m. we are not interested. It's a 4 p.m. So 4 p.m. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, 1 hour parking. Yeah, so we can park without any problems. And this is 1 hour parking Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. There is no problem. Yeah. So it is able to analyze this and able to tell me logical answer. Okay. Now, if this is clear, then we move towards another interesting. We will take up the questions and we will also address the things which are there in your mind. So GitHub Copilot is another interesting thing. We just saw a demo of PDF, Excel file, images, and we will also see text. Now, before we go into text, I want to show you code. So I am in Visual Studio and I'm in code right now. And I want to, let's say, maybe I want to have a file, let's say, and this file, it is, since I'm on Mac, so it is Command I, and then in Windows you can use Control I. That should all work. So it is asking me what I have already installed an extension for GitHub Copilot, and there are some prerequisites, and I've paid for GitHub Copilot also. But I want to show you the capability instead of going into the how setup part. But if you want, I can also talk about that. But what I can do here is, please write a function in Python to sort numbers in an efficient manner. So you can see in English, we are able to write, and then it is making call to the function of Python itself. Now it has written something. Now I can even say, like, I will discard and I will write something, Control I. Please write code, let's say, in Python to sort number in efficient manner. So it will write the code, and it has written some code, quick sort. Okay. And I will accept it. This is the code that I got without writing any Python code. Now you can say, like, there was a question from Diksha on the chat, like, when ChatGPT and generative AI is doing all the work, then where is our role as a data analyst? So I wanted to show you this example, and then it will make more sense. So even though it is basically assistant, it is helping you. It is something which is generating code for you, but you, as you are a software developer, So the person who is basically an analyst making use of AI, and the person who is analyst without making use of AI. So there are two people. So one person is analyst who is making use of AI. Another person is an analyst who is not making use of AI. There will be a lot of difference. So AI is basically assisting us in completing the task, and we call them co-pilots. Co-pilot means like it is making our lives easier. It is able to write so much code without we but as a developer, you will have to debug also, troubleshoot also. You will have your domain knowledge, and multiple other factors will come into picture. So you're working on those projects for since long, like when you're working in a team of like distributed team, and like what are the intricacies. So even though the co-pilot is able to generate code for you, but that code will not be 100% perfect as per your business requirements. You need to implement so many things that from your background, since you're working, and also you're coming from a specific domain, and that knowledge you are having. And this GitHub Copilot is trained on the code which is available publicly on various GitHub repositories. And you are coming from a background which is into healthcare, and what is the best way and to implement a specific logic in healthcare. So what I want to convey here is this GitHub Copilot is basically helping you writing code efficiently for all those programming languages which are available publicly, because it is trained, the machine learning model is trained on public repositories. So there will be limitation. If you try to ask something from GitHub Copilot, let's say I'm asking this GitHub Copilot, write me a code in HTMX programming language. Write me same code, let's say, write me same code in HTMX programming language. Now, HTMX programming language is not so evolved. It is trying to do that, but you will see the code may not, because this language is also for browsers. But I'm just giving you an example that if, let's say, the language is not so common on internet, right? So because the machine learning model was not trained on this particular language so much as Python, so you will see there will be difference in the quality, the exposure that we got in the LLM or the machine learning this model that we got. Now this code, I can even ask, I can ask, write me test case for this code. So then it will generate test case for this code, and I can put it in. Can you see this as written? And I can put it in a different file also. So there are many capabilities which are there, and even there is a chatbot within this Visual Studio Code, which I have also installed. So let's go to chat, and I will say, can you explain me this code? I'm saying, can you explain me below code? I'm asking this. So then it will say, give me the code and I will explain you. Okay. Okay. So it is able to, because since we are having that and highlighted also, and it is able to explain me without it. I didn't even pass the code. So it is able to explain me. Now, who is PM of India? And then it will say, I am not trained on this data set, so I cannot answer this question, who is Prime Minister of India? I can answer questions related to coding only, programming only. So the thing is that since we are having Copilot with us within the IDE, then we don't have to go to Stack Overflow, because let's say there is an error. Let's say I make a mistake. There is an error. Now I want, can you fix the error in this code? I'm asking. Then what it will do? It will figure out what is the issue. Okay, now it is able to figure out the issue that I missed this column. And it is suggesting, do you want to accept the change? So you can say it is a co-pilot, and it is helping you solving problems related to, let's say, debugging, troubleshooting, generating code, writing test cases, writing documentation, and so many other things. So this is one way of doing command I, but we can also write we can write, let's say, write a function in Python to sort numbers using quick sort. So it is automatically suggesting. So I am not even doing anything right now. It is just suggesting maybe I will accept or reject. So then I can say def my function and then numbers, let's say, and then it will start suggesting, recommending, like, oh wow. So I just started typing and then it started assisting me that this can be possible code. And how it learned from public repositories on internet. I hope you are getting an idea that we played with Excel file, we played with PDF, we played with images, we played with code. But now coming to the agenda that we wanted to cover. But any thoughts, any comments, any questions? I hope you got the powerful demo on capabilities of generative AI. We saw ChatGPT, and then we also worked with GPT-4. We saw GitHub Copilot, and we worked with GitHub GPT plugins. Now, what is a prompt? The question is, what is a prompt, and what is prompt engineering? So this is just a beginning, like today we are having a session. Maybe we cannot cover everything because it is something which is a lengthy topic, and there will be multiple sessions that we can have in future. But right now, since this meetup is for 1 hour, but we can do what we can do is we at least we can start with a prompt and introduction to prompt engineering. So I would encourage everyone to participate with me and share your perspective. What is a prompt? And from your perspective, what do you think? What is a prompt engineering? If you can share, that would help a lot. What is a prompt? Understanding a prompt. Since there are no answers, so I will quickly answer. So prompt is basically an instruction that we are giving to the AI model, and this instruction is basically in the natural language. Natural language. Right now, since we are talking about English, so I'll say right now English. We will be writing an instruction, and if we give prompt, that means it is prompt is basically input to the generative AI model. So under what is prompt? So this is our model, machine learning model. Let's say this is our generative AI model. For example, ChatGPT, Word, yeah. And this is an input that we are giving, prompt. And this prompt is an input. Now we get an output, and this output is something which is coming from the like output, and the output is coming from AI model. So this is a prompt which is like an input that we are giving to our generative AI model, and it is generating output. Now this prompt can be text, it can be image, yeah. So now we have generative AI models which are of different types, even speech to text, and there are so many generative AI models. But right now we will limit ourselves to text because we want to evolve in that direction first, and then later on in future sessions we can cover other aspects. So what is prompt engineering? When we say prompt engineering, it is basically, anyone wants to comment what is a prompt engineering? What is prompt engineering? Process of designing and optimizing. Yeah, it is a process of designing and optimizing the prompts so that we meet the expectations, so that we so that it meets the expectations of the user who is asking the question, yeah, in terms of quality or relevance. So if we have to define prompt engineering, it is basically a process of designing and optimizing prompts, and we can meet the expected, the prompt can meet the expectation. It is not so straightforward that we write something to GPT and then, or the chat GPT, and it is able to give us the right answer in the very first go. So it has to be like evolved, and it is an iterative process, and we want to learn that process. How does it work? Yeah. So that is the goal of this series of sessions that we will have. Now, what are the benefits of prompt engineering and why do we do that? Can anyone share? Like, if we do effective prompt engineering, then what is the benefit? We get quality results, right? Relevant results or relevant results. This is clear. We just discussed in the last discussion, the previous slide. Now, what are the other benefits of doing prompt engineering? What are the other benefits? We want the AI models must not hallucinate, right? So AI models must not make up the responses, or we are asking some question and then it is hallucinating. So this is a problem. Hallucination is a problem, and we don't want these large language models or AI models to hallucinate the responses. So we don't want, they must not make up the responses. So prompt engineering will help us in avoiding fake answers. And we want ML models basically give us concise results as per our needs, right? So example, I was giving, like, give me answer in one line, and when I started this demo, then I clearly mentioned there. So there are many benefits of prompt engineering. If we do it in the right manner, then we will get the right response. And the challenge, the challenge with prompt, the challenge with AI models, like large language models, LLMs, it's basically stochastic in nature. Stochastic means like the response can be different at every time we ask questions, so it will not be exactly same. So this is stochastic in nature. So when you give an input to the same machine learning model, you give the same input to the same machine learning model, you can see the output can be different. It will be different. It is based on probabilities, right? So internally, it is working on probabilities. And these AI models are nothing but statistical probabilistic machines. And they are very sensitive to the prompts that we are constructing. So construction of prompts, very important, so that when responses are varying, then it should be valid. It should not happen that the responses are varying a lot, and then you cannot rely and you cannot build real world applications because of that. So that's why prompt engineering is even more important, because the output of LLMs can vary even if you give the same input to the same model, and then your business users are relying on that output. So how we will ensure that the results are relevant and they are helpful? So we need to give responses which are relevant to the business, the applications that we are building. Now, there are many best practices that we can follow. I would say, like, we should basically have it in a separate session in which we will dedicatedly discuss about the best practices of prompt engineering. We were having only 1 hour. We started sharp at 7 p.m. IST. Now it's close to 7:55 p.m. IST. So I want to take up some questions if you have any, so that we can address those things. Yeah, very good. I see there are a lot of responses on the chat. Sorry, I missed those. I did not see the chat, but yes, I can see many people participated. Thank you so much for doing that. Now, anything that is there in your mind that you want to clarify before we move to the next session? Maybe we will set up that session within next 1 month, and then we will cover the prompt engineering essentials. But this session is a base to understand the capabilities of ChatGPT and getting started with prompt engineering before we actually talk about the best practices. Okay. Okay, role of prompt engineering in data science.
Hi, sir. This is, yeah, sorry. Okay.
Sorry, there was a question on the chat, so that's why I thought I should address this.
Yes, sir, no problem. You can take that.
So now, first of all, Rahul, like, when I started this session, I mentioned that we have many things in prompt engineering. So when we say we are talking about generative AI models. So when we are saying generative AI model, that means we are talking about models which can understand our language and models which can generate our responses as per our background. So your question is, what is the role of generative, like role of prompt engineering in data science? So as a data scientist, we are in different phases. I worked in various data science projects, and when we are talking about, I want to understand your question from different perspectives. So let's say there is one understanding that I got is you are looking for as a data scientist. Let's say I am a data scientist, and what will be the role of prompt engineering in my day-to-day work? So that is one question that can be interpreted. Second question can be, you are a data scientist, and since we have new way of data model, building machine learning models, so how this paradigm will shift? So I want to understand from you, Rahul. So is your question from this perspective? Let's say I am a traditional data scientist and I want to know what is the role of prompt engineering in that day-to-day work. And second perspective is how this modern way of developing machine learning models changes the way we do data science. Can you please elaborate, Rahul? That will help me in answering the question in the right way. Rahul, can you hear me, Samuel? Is this question from the first perspective or second perspective? Let me answer in both perspectives. So first question is, let's say I'm a traditional data scientist and I'm using prompt engineering. So what will happen? Let's say there is a data scientist who is not doing prompt engineering and another data scientist who is doing prompt engineering. So what are the various phases? So in data science, we need to understand the business problem. We need to understand how the success will look like when we are working on a data science problem. And what is the definition of success? Will accuracy 99% be a success for this project, or will accuracy of 99.99%? Or is this accuracy a right metric for data science or not? Or should we think about precision, recall, and there are so many other matrices? So we should basically define that success factor. So when we are having this problem definition, so as a data scientist, I will make use of prompt engineering to, let's say I'm coming from a domain which is ideally the data scientist should have a thorough domain knowledge that is expected out of data scientist. But let's say I was working in XYZ domain. Now I joined a new company. So then I need to learn that domain. So this prompt engineering will help me in understanding the specific domain better. Let's say I am in airline price, like flights price optimization domain, and I want to understand how does it actually work, which all factors are there. So through prompt engineering, I can have prompts so that I can understand the domain better. But let's say I am in my data science life cycle, and in data science life cycle, I have data from different sources. So I will be making use of prompt engineering, and I will have set of prompts that will help me in getting answers from the ChatGPT, which are related to how do we create new features. I can even give some sample data to ChatGPT, and then I can do some feature engineering. We want to do some feature augmentation. So multiple steps are there within feature engineering, like feature selection. So it is this prompt engineering is going to help you in different phases of your data science life cycle. And I have a video also on what are the steps which are involved in data science life cycle. I can send that video, it's on Microsoft channel, in which I have explained the various phases of data science life cycle. So I'm just thinking aloud, if you are a traditional data scientist, then you will basically be making use of prompt engineering at different phases of your uh, uh, data science life cycle. Does it help? Like, are we clear that this is first way when we are working? So this is going to help you a lot if you are using prompt engineering. It is going to help you in understanding the data, understanding the domain, understanding the problem, understanding the features and coming up with new features and maybe fine tuning the models. There are multiple areas within data science where it is going to help. Now, another thing is, let's say you are a traditional data scientist, and since this revolution has happened, so earlier we were focusing on building models from scratch a lot, even though there is a concept of fine tuning models. But now we give a lot of importance to fine tuning models. Earlier we used to in traditional data science or AI projects, we used to call transfer learning, and it does exist right now also. But since we are talking about LLMs, doing development from scratch or coming up with models from scratch is very difficult. It's next to impossible for small companies because there's huge budget which is required. A lot of resources are required. But when we talk about data science or like making use of machine learning models, so on large language models, then we prefer to do the fine tuning or make use of RAG patterns and other techniques that are much more popular in those domains where large language models can be applied. So you need to see the problem statement and see like whether we need to go for large language models or should we stick to the traditional machine learning models. So depending on the problem that you are working on. But it has changed the mindset. Earlier, we used to take months to come up with a machine learning model to deploy it in production. But now it can be done in days with this new innovation which has happened through OpenAI. So are we clear, Samuel, Raul? Like a lot of things have changed. Okay. Next question is, ChatGPT can give an initial design, a batch mail sending you. Yes, absolutely, Saravanan. It can definitely give this design, and please do try it out. It will definitely give, and we have written a lot of code through ChatGPT. Next one, how can I start learning prompt engineering? So prompt engineering, one is like OpenAI documentation, and we will also be conducting these meetups so that you can get a guided help. So the way we conducted this meetup, similarly, we will have another meetup where we will specifically be talking about prompt engineering. I'm sorry we could not get chance to move to prompt engineering because it is not just 1 hour topic. It is like a longer duration topic since this meetup is for short duration. But next time when we are meeting, then we'll look into prompt engineering. Then you will be at the next level once we are there. But there are open source notebooks also available, which you can use through Azure OpenAI notebooks. But if instead of going into Azure OpenAI, I would suggest like just go for OpenAI and you will find prompt engineering best practices there. How can healthcare candidate who has 1 year experience in healthcare domain can switch to data field, mostly data science, because data analyst can be replaced by? Okay. So, domain knowledge will definitely be helpful. And I want to show you a video with, I'm sharing my screen with. So this is a video that will help you in getting started. And when they have to. This is a video. I'm sharing my screen. I hope you can see my screen. Yeah. In this video, I have explained how data science works. Yeah, so this is hosted on Microsoft channel. I'll send this link. You can watch this video. And through this video, you can at least get started with the very first step. So I'm sending this video. Okay, mostly data science. So here, who has 1 year? And then I have also other videos on Microsoft channel through which you can learn data field, how you can. And then there we have a course also I can share. This is a free course, which is Big Data Crash Course. Let me share my screen. This Big Data Crash Course will help you in learning data. I'm sharing my screen again. So this is a Big Data Crash Course. Sorry, it is asking me to log in. But models you have to. I'll send the link to this course. This is a free course that you can watch, and I'll stop sharing. I'm posting it on the chat. So this is. Okay, I am posting it on the chat. So this is a big data crash course. So you can start your data journey through this course. And this can be another starting point, and it is starting from the beginning itself, like how things evolved. So all these resources are free of cost. You can just go through it. You know? And then we also conduct virtual instructor-led classes in which you can learn these technologies in a systematic manner. So I think I covered all the questions which were there on the chat. I just want to thank everyone. I know it is middle of the week, and even then you have taken out time for this meetup. Thank you so much for doing that. And I look forward to seeing you in the future. Yeah. Thank you so much. And please do connect with us on different channels. Have a good evening, good morning, whichever time zone you are joining from. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Arun.